Collider and the mainstream media just cannot accept the fact that people do not like The Last of Us Season 2. That's right, it's only the woke shows that supposedly get affected by review bombing. Okay? No other shows. The Minecraft movie didn't have a review bombing, that's for sure. Okay? Despite it being one of the most popular movies, it has a 5.9 IMDb because there are tons of people who do not like that movie. And when it used to be like at 6.5, it went up to 5.9. Oh, there's no review bombing now, but you dare don't like The Little Mermaid, you dare don't like, Concord, you dare don't like, anything we like. Well, guess what? If you do not like it, you are review bombing it. Okay? You are review bombing. How dare you dislike this show? How dare you dislike this movie? It is getting tired after a while. Nobody likes The Last of Us TV series, okay? Especially season 2 as well. When a group of disgruntled viewers make a collective effort to manipulate show's rating and aggregator platforms. Maybe it's because people don't like the show, okay? The best example is Snow White. Yeah, Snow White's score is 1.6. Yes, better Snow White is. Do you really think it's worse than Dragon Ball Evolution? I still think it's going to have a score similar to Dragon Ball Evolution, but is anyone accusing Dragon Ball Evolution or The Last Airbender, that terrible M. Night Shyamalan version, of having having a bad score? And of course, they're using this excuse that the critics like it. Oh yes, the critics like it. You know what else the critics like? Cuties. You know what else critics like? Both of the crappy Black Panther movies. Yeah, they both suck. And I'm not review bombing Black Panther. I just don't like Black Panther. I don't like either of the movies. Actually, I've not seen the second one. But I didn't like the first movie. Why would I see the second one? That makes a lot of sense now. Okay? Or The Boys. Okay? They probably accuse people of review bombing The Boys season 4, but The Boys season 4 is a power of shit. And of course, let's talk about The Acolyte, where they gave like a 90% to The Acolyte, and no one liked The Acolyte. It's almost like people really, really don't like this show. People really, really, really don't like this show, and more people who, like the games do not like a certain casting role, kind of like Snow White. And Hollywood and the mainstream media cannot accept the fact that people do not like certain citizens and certain choices. Okay? Hollywood just cannot. And I'm saying that the best fit. Oh, that's false. That's false. 100% false. Not the best. Last of Us is not the best video game adaptation of all time. And of course, Rotten Tomatoes has bended and folded, even IMDb as well, has bended and folded to many of these, to Disney and all these other sites as well. And according to these people, if you dislike a movie, you're a troll. Captain Marvel, bad movie. Oh, I'm a troll now. Okay, guess what? Because I don't like Captain Marvel, I am considered a troll. I watched the movie, didn't like it, gave it a bad review. Oh, I'm a troll. The Last Night especially, I hate that movie. That movie's garbage. It's boring as hell. I'm not watching Snow White. You cannot make me watch Snow White. I don't ever plan to watch Snow White, but I know the movie's trash. Okay? Because I know the movie's trash. I don't have to watch it. Same thing with Joker 2. Okay? You ain't gonna make me watch Joker 2 or Megamind 2. Okay? But anyone review bombing Megamind 2 or Joker 2? Okay? No one is, because that's a bad movie that nobody likes. The problem is these sites and the mainstream media cannot accept the fact that people have different opinions than the movie critics, who, also, quote unquote, would have review bombed Snow White, because guess what? Even the critics didn't like Snow White. Okay? Even the critics didn't like Snow White. Okay? As well. Okay? The Last of Us, people really, really don't like it. Okay? Maybe people want an actual character that actually looks like the character from the games, and not looks like whatever. When we're being targeted, they complain about other things. And it's funny. These people are always saying it puts, misogyny or racist or sexism. Okay? Why is it review bombers always tend to target women average femmes? Maybe it's going to cast a bulldog for one of the lead roles. Maybe it's supposed to be an adaptation, and it's supposed to have a decent looking Joel. Maybe they could actually find someone to fit the role. Why couldn't they find someone to actually fit the role for Ellie? Why do they keep making it fact there's only women being targeted? And if you want to play that game, look at Joker 2. Is Joker 2 being review bombed? Minecraft movie being review bombed? Despite Minecraft movie making $662 million and it be creating great memes, it has a 5.9 IMDb. I don't think the Minecraft movies are a 5.9 IMDb. I think it's over a 10 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. Other people have different opinions than me. That's just how the world works. But these media sites, okay, it could be the other we bros. The take down moves against a giant dude was just hard to watch. Hey, we can just sneak off and disobey the patrol and fight zombies in the dark abandoned building with no preconceived because we're goalies. Haha, it's Katy Perry and Space Tio. And the Philippines scene was so critical by itself for hours just big from downtown LA, who couldn't conceptualize anything beyond post-scarcity world, while showing how realities they inhabit as well. And it's because they can't, it's just the media just cannot accept the fact that people don't like this show. Okay? Why did they cast someone, okay, who does not fit the role of the character? Okay? Is it that simple for Hollywood to understand this? Okay? Why the reason why the Sonic movies, I consider those the greatest video game adaptations of all time, because every character and voice actor fits the role for Sonic. Sonic sounds like Knuckles. Knuckles sounds like Knuckles. Shadow sounds like Shadow. Of course, he doesn't sound exactly like in the game, obviously, but he still sounds like Sonic. He still is Sonic. He still has Sonic's personality. Okay? And of course, you had the perfect role for Dr. Robotnik's last Eggman, which of course is Jim Carrey, because guess what? They always talk about how I find it funny they said that the randomness might ruin the Sonic 4. Well, guess what? The first 3 Sonic movies already had random moments, because guess what? You have Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey's whole thing is being random and funny. But it works because guess what? It's Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey is funny. Okay? As well, Jack Black does very similar humor style to Jim Carrey kind of does, because guess what? Random humor is funny. Okay? The Last of Us Part 2 is not funny. It's a bad show that people don't like, and this show has been roasted and destroyed. Okay? People really don't like this show, and the mainstream media needs to accept the fact that people don't like The Last of Us Season 2. Okay? And they need to accept that people don't like The Last Jedi. And people don't like Captain Marvel and the Marvels. The Eternals. Okay? The Acolyte. Okay? The Little Mermaid remake. The Snow White remake. Brave New World, too. Okay? Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Another movie that people didn't like. And it didn't really do too well. Okay? They need to accept that people don't like things. Okay? And people have different opinions than them. Okay? And the fact that, I think the mainstream media is partially the reason for all this wokeness in Hollywood, because they can't accept the fact that people dislike movies and shows and have different opinions than them. I thought we graduated past kindergarten already. Mainstream media, you should accept the fact that people don't like Snow White. People don't like The Last of Us. People don't like The Last of Us Part 2, the game and the movie. Okay? People don't like Concord. People don't like Suicide Squad. Okay? People don't like Dragon Age the Valley God. Okay? People don't like the stuff that you like. Okay? You guys live in a bubble in LA. Okay? And that is just the truth at the very end of the day. Okay? Us, lesser people are sick. Because that's how you view us, Hollywood. That's how you view us, lesser people. Okay? YouTubers, normal working day people. Everyone that isn't a Hollywood style, that isn't famous. We are not lesser people. We are as worth as Hollywood. Yes, Hollywood may have more money than us, but Hollywood is an elite group. Okay? We have the power to consume wherever we want. Okay? That's why I'm not watching any movies made by Disney this year. I'm not even watching that new Predator movie. I think it looks cool, but it's made by Disney. I don't want to give money to Disney because Disney really doesn't deserve my money. Okay? People got upset that I wasn't excited for Fantastic Four. Disney's going to ruin this. They will. And I was right at the very end. I was right about Fantastic Four at the very end. It wasn't going to be a real Fantastic Four because guess what? Disney's going to solve the gender politics and the wokeness in the movie. Okay? As well. And I said alarm bells in the CGI the very first time. Why does the thing look worse? Yeah, that's actually the character's name. Than 2005 thing, or even the 2015 movie. That everybody hated that movie, but at least the CGI looks better than this Disney version, at the very least. And those of this video here. Goodbye.